we got to live and breathe High School Musical for almost 4 years at a very pivotal time in all of our lives. And it changed the course of our lives forever. And it's so much so that we're still talking about it now. And to have something like that in this industry, especially right now where there's so many reboots, we're getting to see what has made an indention and an impact on culture. And to know that we made that impact on culture, for me, is enough.
Hey there, it's Kristen, and we're chatting with Monique Coleman and Corbin Bleu, who star in A Christmas Dance Reunion. That's right, the High School Musical stars are reuniting for a holiday movie, and you don't want to miss this conversation. I'm so excited to talk to you because this movie was so much fun. And I mean, I grew up on High School Musical, so to see you guys reuniting, I was like, this is everything. Aww. This is all I've ever wanted in my life. And so I'd love to hear from you guys, what was it like coming back together for this holiday movie?
We talk about it so much recently, but truly it was such an easy experience just because we have so much history and chemistry already, and you really appreciate the fact that you can work with a friend, work with someone you trust, and you don't have that trepidation or that wondering or ever feeling like, am I one ever overstepping a boundary, or am I, are we on the same page? Like Mo and I have known each other for 15 years, so we know each other pretty well at this point.
I think one thing that's been also interesting is just like the response. It's been so wonderful just seeing this outpour of love, and and for that to have lasted for all of these years, and it just feels so good.
You guys have worked together for so long. Do you have any favorite memories of just moments together?
One of my favorite ones whenever I think of Monique is I don't remember what year it was over the years, but one weekend we had a Tony viewing party.
Oh my God, stop.
And I have the best memory of the two of us just dancing in the middle of my living room to
why do I feel like you're shirtless in this memory?
I was, because you know what, we had a pool day, and then I remember we were in our bathing suits dancing in the middle of the living room to all of the musicals from the Tonys on that day.
That's exactly right. And it was just it was the Corbin and Mo show for sure. That's really funny.
And it wasn't just us, Sasha was there, we had a whole party there. But it was just the two of us dancing for everyone else.
Yeah, it was actually, it started in the opening number. That's totally true. I forgot about that.
I noticed some Easter eggs, some photos of you guys in the background that are definitely real photos of you guys together from the past. What encouraged you to want to insert those moments? And are there any other Easter eggs maybe of you guys' friendship that's kind of infused into this project?
So many movies require set dressing that you have to provide photographs of yourself as a child, and then they usually doctor it up through Photoshop, and they'll put you and your on-camera family, or you and your on-camera love interest, or whatever it is. And we just happened to be in a scenario where we didn't have to Photoshop or doctor anything. We have life photos together over years that we were able to provide, which for us, actually, I feel just provided an environment on a set that felt even more alive and more real, because we showed up and were able to look at these photos and really reminisce over times that we've had. So much of the relationship on camera mimics our relationship off camera, and our characters. Even there's a lot of similarities between myself and Barrett and Monique and Lucy. And just their whole journeys. So I feel like that's something that you don't always get. It was a really special and unique experience.
Yeah, it was really honestly just life, our real lives being able to serve the story, like Corbin said. And there was actually a scene that was cut from the movie, or a moment that was cut from the movie, where we are walking down the hallway. I'm walking with Kim Roberts, who plays my mom, and we're walking through the hall, and there are all these photos of me as a child. And it was so beautiful because getting to provide those photos and getting to see photos of Corbin as a kid. And, you know, one of my favorite photos that we zoom in on is actually from the Macy's Day Parade in like 2006 or something. And it was cool because in so many ways, it's nostalgic for the fans to get to see moments that they've seen before. It's nostalgic for us to, you know, like Corbin was saying, to have that. I mean, it could basically be our living room wall, you know, not our living room wall currently, because that would be like Disney Partners. But like, if we were to go home, like there's a room in my house that in my mother's home that has, you know, these photos. She was the one who was able to access them so easily. But I think even more interestingly, for our inner child, for that little girl and that little boy that didn't know that one day that he and she would grow up to be everything that we dreamt of, that for me was really special, to see those photos and to think about what I didn't know at that time, that when that picture was being captured, we had no idea that 15 years later it would matter in a totally different way, or 20 years later, you know, for some of these images of us like when we were really little. So that I think is like incredibly unique and special. And yeah, it feels like we get to sort of honor all of these different parts of who we are with this movie.
While you guys are playing love interest in the film, Corbin, your actual wife, is also in the film. So what is it like working on set with her?
It's a dream. I mean, this is not the
He's like
first
the luckiest guy, really.
I really am. This is not the first project that we've worked on together. And every time it's wonderful to actually work with your partner to you know, finish a scene, yell cut, look next to you and be like, oh, hi, what's up? And then to have that just exponentially layered with, you know, the Monique and I's history and friendship, and then even Monique and Sasha's, you know, friendship. And it also is it's a really peaceful feeling knowing that we are all friends and we all do know each other well. And it's Sasha has been just such a perfect cheerer on. Just say,
yeah, she's our biggest cheerleader.
She really is. She's a huge cheerleader for the two of us in our on-screen relationship too, which is just a beautiful thing. I really am lucky. It's again not something that you get to see or hear of often.
No, and I think especially in this, you know, this sort of post Me Too era, where there's so much that happens on set that can be really uncomfortable, that you can't really talk about, and experiences where, especially both of us, Corbin and I, are, you know, we have very loving partners and we're in really happy relationships. And you know, when you're meeting someone new and you know, we love our careers and we love the work, and you want to portray that love and that romance authentically, but you also want to be able to make sure that you can set very clear boundaries with the people that you're working with, and that they are respectful of your relationship. And it's so like that was never in question, and that is very, very cool. And you know, my husband Walter is also friends. He's not an actor at all, but he's friends with Corbin and Sasha as well. And it just made it a family affair. It made it so that we were able to be there for each other on screen and off, and really have a level of freedom and openness that I think really serves this story and allows for that magic and that chemistry and all that gooiness. And then when it's cut, we're back to being like, okay, I'm gonna be at Crafty. All right, I'm gonna see you later. Like, love you too. Bye. Okay. Like, and it's just like, it's like literally like being just with your family.
Speaking of family, you know, this film is kind of like going back to your childhood roots and traditions and things like that. So do you guys have any like favorite holiday traditions that you do in your own homes?
Sasha and I always, in the past, have always been hosts. We love to host. We love to throw holiday themed parties. We love to decorate. The past several, like 4 years or so, we've been in this transition of renovations in our home and all that kind of stuff. So we haven't been as much there, which really was a beautiful thing too, by the way, being on this set during sort of this holiday time, because we actually did shoot October into November, and just to be surrounded by a really well done set that gave you all the Christmas spirit and vibes. That was a really wonderful thing to be a part of. But I think are looking forward to our house being done the beginning of next year so we can get back into those Christmas traditions. I think one thing for me that's always been a staple is my grandmother, actually my great grandmother's recipe that was passed on of ricotta balls, which are, it's like ricotta cheese fried with cinnamon and sugar, and it's always about the food. Food is everything.
Yeah, see, my tradition is to eat the food.
We're gonna go to Corbin's house when the house is all done, so we can eat that.
I will say though that this movie softened my little heart, because I was not as a little mushy, like Christmassy. I was like, I mean, like I was that person that was like, I'm gonna be on a vacation while y'all are over here with the family drama. But no, it really made me appreciate and value the holidays in a way that I hadn't before. And I would like to start some traditions. And one of them is baking. I would like to learn how to bake.
Sasha does bake a lot. And I feel like the two of you
we should do that. Yes.
Make a great pair and team in the kitchen. Yeah. I
agree with that.
What was like the most fun or like the most challenging part of working on a holiday film?
There was a quick turnaround on the dancing in this movie. All of the numbers were shot within 2 days, which is a very large amount of production to fit within a short amount of time. And same thing with the rehearsal process, because we had to quarantine for the first 2 weeks. We actually did majority of our rehearsals over Zoom, which is difficult with partner dancing because you're just looking at the person going, okay, I think you're
Are you on this side or this side?
And you're you're on this side, and you're trying to rehearse without the person there. And we got, I think, 2 or 3 days of real in-person rehearsal before we started shooting. So that was, I think, the fastest part of the turnaround. But again, because of this relationship, that wasn't as scary as it should have been.
And we had the most wonderful choreographer, Kristen, who you could tell that he really knew our bodies. Like that he had done his homework and found a dance style that really was like a compilation of both of our strengths. And that felt really good to know that we got to play to the things that we look good doing automatically. As far as challenges go, it really was just such a wonderful experience. And that is so not typical that there's always something, there's always someone, there's always just like, something that is like, oh, it would have been great, but then there was this. And in this instance, it really wasn't that. I think the biggest challenge at all was just the outside world. We were coming off of a pandemic. We hadn't worked in, close to a year. There was the election going on in the US. So environmentally, emotionally, spiritually, I think the whole world was grieving in some like major way. And we didn't really need any more drama. If anything, this being able to be on set was a reminder of how blessed we actually are. What a wonderful kind of charmed experience we were getting to have, and anything that would have even been perceived as a challenge, when we contextualized it in the context of the fact that we were truly the lucky ones, we didn't take a single moment for granted.
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit more about High School Musical, because I feel like, we love you guys as Taylor and Chad, and now the series has been continuing, the franchise has been continuing with a new generation of kids. Do you guys see yourself ever like wanting to go back to that? Or do you have any thoughts of like where your characters would be, or even, what it's like to still see people loving that franchise so much?
Well, I think they did an amazing job with it, first of all. I mean, over the years, there have been so many rumors and like kind of, it seems like false starts where it was whispered about that something could happen. And I feel like they really did pick the perfect way to continue the franchise, and I'm so excited for the new class and the new generation of young people and them sort of getting to be a part of that magic. And I mean, I can't really imagine or know where we would fit into all of that, but I would be open to it. I'm open to sort of seeing what that could be. and also allowing them to just like have this really delicious experience. Like we got to live and breathe High School Musical for almost 4 years at a very pivotal time in all of our lives, and it changed the course of our lives forever. And it's so much so that we're still talking about it now. And to have something like that in this industry, especially right now where there's so many reboots, we're getting to see what has made an indention and an impact on culture. And to know that we made that impact on culture, for me, is enough. But obviously, if the fans or people wanted to see more, we would, if it made sense, we would of course be open to it.
Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I mean, people are gonna love this movie. Like, I'm obsessed with you guys. Just getting the chance to chat with you guys and learn a little bit more about what went into it. So exciting. And so congratulations on everything. And I hope you guys have a great holiday.
Thank you. You as well.
And Mo, just before you signed on, I found out that she's getting married in March. She just picked up her wedding dress. So congratulations to you, Kristen, and good luck and all the happiness to the both of you.
Thank you.
Yes, that's so exciting.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. And please tell Sasha that you guys' Say Yes to the Dress episode really inspired me.
I will. I definitely will.
Look at that. I love that. Well, congratulations and happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out the exclusive Discord available on my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!